Lagos.
Honorable Adeboye Kalejaye is the member representing Ajiromi Felodu constituency in the 10th House of Representatives. Thank you for staying the course on the program. So what did you mean by saying this empowerment is not from me? It's from President Tinubu. Was that you being humble, or I just need some clarity? I thought it was your constituency project or something.
Yeah, if it's my constituency project, who funds it? The federal government. Every constituency project is powered and funded from the national budget. The National Assembly does not have a separate budget, but in the development of ensuring that we also carry our constituency along, they provide you with constituency projects. What do you do with your constituency project? So when you want to trace the source of the constituency project, you trace it back to the person who has funded it.
So, Mr. President, so I like that it's not just distributing food, which can finish in time. You are also targeting empowerment. But do you follow up with these individuals? Because I heard some say, encourage people not to sell those things. How do you follow them up to ensure that they're actually being empowered?
See, what I have adopted, the method I have adopted, that most of my empowerment are not just given to people who do not need it. For instance, in my empowerment project, I brought in the Hairdressers Association, and we inspected all their salons to be sure they have it. We brought in the Tailors Association. We went and inspect their shops to be sure they are there. We involved youths in digital marketing and whatever. And we chose the youth across the board, not only within the party. We chose them from the various youth organizations that exist. And then if you look at the preponderance of people we chose, they are youth-minded, and they are people who are already making use of digital marketing one way or the other. So in selecting them, we did not select, but then we also go to the party. And what we have done is that we have inscribed in all of the palliatives we are given, and we are put not for sale. So even if you are going to sell, it's going to be very tough for you and difficult. You are not going to sell at a peanut because the inscriptions are permanent.
Wow.
So as you carry them about to want to sell, use it. And of course, we did not give, you see, one of the greatest things that is easier to use, if you are giving a keke marwa, for instance, we don't expect that you must know how to ride keke marwa. But if you employ somebody who is riding it and using it within the constituency, you're also helping. So that's the method we have adopted. And I think that while I'm not saying that we're going to have 100% usability, but I'm sure that we'll have like 80-85% usability of those items.
You co-sponsored the bill for the establishment of Ibile Entrepreneur University in Lagos. That has passed second reading now.
Yeah.
What do you envision, for this project?
If you look at what everybody is doing now, the main thing is about entrepreneurial development. We are where we are because nobody wants to till the ground. Nobody wants to do plumbing. Nobody wants to fix the air conditioner. See, it's astronomical, the prices that tailors charge when you sew clothes. I was almost running mad. Say, okay, I buy clothes. You are charging me more money than the price of the clothes. But it's because who wants to be a tailor? Nobody wants to be a tailor. Who wants to be a mechanic? Nobody wants to. Everybody wants to be an engineer. Who wants to be a plumber? Everybody wants to be, So what we need to do is to constitutionalize it, legalize it, instrumental it, work it as part of our instrument of educational system in a way that people can go to university and study all of this. Why when you go to Polytechnic and you have OND or HND, you will still have to go to university. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody is chasing university education. Everybody believes that without university education, you are nobody. So why don't we have a university or entrepreneurial university where you can, from your first year to your final year, study a particular, you do general studies to study and then later on diversify into majoring into one or two of the very major things that we need. Your carpenter charges excessive money. Your bricklayer charges us. So if graduates are involved, they will do it better. Then it's going to be a bye-bye to chasing white-collar job. They will become employers of labor. Indeed. They will become skilled And so we can expand the economy. That's the way to expand the economy. You cannot continue this way.
And many developed countries are built on service sector like that. Yeah. So you co-sponsored this alongside Babajimi Benson.
Yes.
He was on the show last week as well. So this university is going to be in Ikorodu.
Yeah.
Did you at some point argue and say, no, you should be in my own constituency, not yours?
No, you see, it's good not to be selfish. And Jimmy is an experienced legislator, dynamic, very, 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 profound legislator. When I came up with the bill and went to him, said, look, I'm looking at this. He said, I'm also looking at something in that direction. I said, why can't we collaborate? I also know that his name on that bill will make the bill move faster.
So that's your learning lobbying quick.
That's part of my learning. So I have to learn under my leaders. So I was learning. So, and when we were talking about where do we cite it, 2 areas occurred to my mind. Did I take it to Badagry? Because if I want to take it to my constituency, I don't have the land. The place is built up. So there is no land where we can put a university. A university requires a 22-kilometer radius in terms of land space if you want to do a proper university. So Badagry, already, Honorable Falike was already sponsoring a University of Technology in Badagry, which of Badagry is part of my own, area too. So if he's doing that in Badagry, so why be selfish and go and put it in any of this? So why don't we give it to Ikorodu? Ikorodu has the expanse of land. They have, they have a University of Technology there. But then the Enterprise University will be so good. And it will benefit everybody, whether you are from Ikorodu. And Ikorodu is becoming a very large hub in terms of commercial development. And so it will attract studentship. It will attract a lot of interest. So for me, I give it to Ikorodu.
You also raised the motion to promote local language as a medium of instruction in primary and junior secondary schools. What's the status of that innovation now?
You see, the process of either you do a bill or you sponsor a motion, it has processes in the parliament. I've sponsored the motion. It's been referred to the Committee on Basic Education and probably university education.
Let's hold that thought for a minute. Let me open the phone lines and take Mazi's call from Arochukwu. Good morning, Mazi. Mazi, are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
Go ahead with your contribution. You have about 1 minute.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm there. Yeah, good morning. Good morning. Yeah, you see, the university you are talking is very, very good. Because education, one of the dividends of democracy, and we need it in this country. I think if there is need for, because all the honorable members, the joint house, the red house, green house, to do that sort of thing. And I think,
well, we have trouble, getting clarity as to what you were saying. Perhaps you can call back Mazi. Thank you for your contribution. So you were saying there's a long process, right? To achieving this.
So it has gone to those committees.
Okay.
Those committees will sit on the motion and also fine-tune it. And then they bring it back. And then now goes to the implementing agencies. When it goes to the implementing agency, they also look at it and look at the workability of the motion. So then it becomes a stage of implementation. So I'm not expecting that today, tomorrow, it's going to take off. But as I said, it's a process.
Do you foresee it happening in the lifespan of this tenure?
I pray so. See, the sponsor motion is all about all of us.
Absolutely.
We are already losing our cultural values. We are losing our identity. Even in homes, we don't speak our local dialect.
The interesting thing, Honorable, is that our children can speak our dialect. They cannot also speak the English language.
The ways.
So we have a confused generation. And they say that's how countries like China, build their education. They're able to teach in their own tongue.
So if those are the countries we're emulating, why don't we do it properly? Learn your rudiments of early education in your local language, and then you graduate it. It doesn't mean that you will not learn in other languages. But then let's be able to have those teachings
All right.
in our local language.
Ade has called in from Lagos Mainland. Good morning, Ade. Please go ahead with your contribution.
Mainland.
Mr. Ade, go ahead with your contribution.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I want to appreciate our legislator there.
Thank you, sir.
And I also want to appreciate the coordinator. The legislator has been making a salient point on the way forward for Nigeria, the policy that Ashwadi is doing. It may be painful, though, but we believe that at the end of the tunnel, we shall all smile. But they need to do a lot of things, monitoring. Like the refinery is working now, we believe the price of petrol should come down also so as to reduce inflation. So the monitoring should go on. The oversight function should not be left undone. To touch all areas so that at the end of the day, Nigeria will smile. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your contribution. They say Warri Refinery is working at 60%. The Port Harcourt Refinery kick-started this year. Dangote is in full operation. Hopefully, Kaduna Refinery will come upstream this year. This new year as well. It will be good to begin to see all of these ideas and policies of government come to fruition. And I'm sure that you are also optimistic that perhaps in this new year, Nigerians can, heave a sigh of relief.
You see, I'm optimistic. I'm prayerful. I believe in God, because every nation must recognize God as the creator of wealth and resources. So I believe in those three things. And I see the price of petrol has started falling. I don't want to mention name of a station who has started selling at 900 and something naira per liter. See, you remember the days of the GSM. It started from the high top. Prices started crashing. Today, it's come to very, very insignificant prices that we pay to buy our data and whatever. There are promos or whatever. So, one, the modular refineries too must also be encouraged to come on board. When this competition breeds, we will surely have, and I'm optimistic that most of the injection into the agricultural sector by the Minister of Agri and food security, the creation of the Ministry of Livestock will also help in ensuring that we can have enough food. And of course, in Yoruba land, we must also go back to our farms.
To farming. Mr. George has called in from Ikeja. Good morning.
Good morning, Ifemi, and good morning to the Honorable.
Good morning, sir.
Ifemi, permit me to say something on the National Assembly being referred to as rubber stamp. I don't know how that narrative came about, but if you look at it, you discover that the ruling party has a vast majority of its members at the National Assembly. One doesn't expect members of your own party to be antagonistic to be coming from your own party executive. Perhaps that is the reason. We cannot compare it to the time Saraki and Dugara were in charge of National Assembly, where they held the government to ransom. For 4 years, the president was not able to do anything because it was considered to be, a battle. It's not a battle. If you are an opposing party and a bill is presented, scrutinize the bill, see what is wrong there, point it out, and let it be corrected. I remember this President Senate. They used to confirm a ministerial nominee in the person of El-Rufai. They dropped him because he could not fulfill their own conditions. So if they were a rubber stamp, why would they do that? So, and please, I want to ask the honorable member there about this constituency allowance. What I saw that he projected in pictures just now, what is that what they use the constituency allowance to do? And if that is the case, how do they render accounts?
Aha, it is
How
that
do you make
accountability
returns
part
to justify
that I'm
what
also
is
quite
already-
interested in. Thank you, Mr. George, for raising that question.
Okay, let me quickly explain to Nigerians. It's not constituency allowance. It's called constituency projects.
Okay.
What the government allows you to do as a parliamentarian is to say that in the ongoing year, in the budget, you have some priority projects in your constituency, you bring it forward, and they provide funding for it. So the money is coming from the same federal government.
Okay.
And then the monitoring is not done. We don't even know the contractors.
Okay.
The agency where the jobs are domiciled conduct what you call the bidding. They open the bidding, publicize it. Nigerians also bid. They choose the preferred bidder. When they choose the preferred bidder, they will only inform you, so contractor will do your constituency project. And then when they do it, they monitor it. I got headache this morning. And what text did I get? I got from an agency who sponsored, who were in charge of some of the grinding machines that we gave out and the sewing machines. They saw pictorials, they saw video, they were now saying that, look, we need to have a register where all of the recipients signed. And I was calling to say that, why didn't you tell us this condition
Before
we gave it out? So it means that now I have the responsibility of calling everybody that benefited to come and sign.
But you have their names.
I have their names, so it's just another process. When I'm thinking that I'm done with those ones, I was trying to cool off a little bit to enjoy part of my holiday before I go back to work. But here I am. So what I'm trying to tell the caller is to say that the monitoring of such expenditure is done by the agencies, and it's so funny and I can say that definitely. The agencies are also monitored by the EFCC.
All right. We have to go now. We have just about 1 more minute. But there was something you said while you were contesting for this position. You said you would want a situation where your colleagues would join you in recognizing Ajero Mifelodun as a mini Nigeria, a place where all the ethnic groups in Nigeria could be found, so that it can be like a model for the nation. Where are you with this promise?
The first thing is to register that concerns in the minds of all your colleagues. And you can only register that when you're also a vocal part of the National Assembly. So now in the National, they call me Mini Nigeria. So that in itself is a recognition.
All right.
The second part is to say, okay, when we're looking at projects and whatever, I can start to continue to beg. Like I went to the deputy speaker. I said, see, this mini Nigeria, your people are there. You need to give me something for your people. And he gave me something for the people.
What something?
He gave me grinding machines.
All right.
He gave me, sewing machines. And I'm being factual. I'm grateful to him, to the deputy speaker. So it begins in that way. It will not come overnight, but the recognitions will come as we project it, as we keep singing it. The national anthem now we all sing, some quite better than when we started, because every function, if you don't like the wordings, you like the reading.
Absolutely.
If you don't like the reading, you like the wordings.
That's our time. I've been speaking with member House of Representatives representing Ajero Mifelodun constituency, Honorable Adeboye Kalijaye, PhD. Thank you so much for coming. And we wish you all the best. Compliments of the season.
Thank you very much. I wish every Nigerian, and in fact the entire world, Happy New Year in advance. Thank you.
We're back tomorrow, New Year Day, for a fresh and exciting edition of the program. Thank you so much for being a part of this morning for the year 2024. On behalf of Yori Folari and the entire team, we say Happy New Year to you. I am Nifemi.